What's going on, everyone? I'm Corey. This is Offbeat Motors, and welcome to another edition of Automotive News. Let's get started. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so today's episode is regarding the reintroduction of the Chevy Blazer. But it's not the Blazer you think of. Let's go back to 1969 and do a quick rundown of the history of the Blazer to get you up to speed on that, and then we can figure out where it's going from there. Okay, so like I mentioned, 1969 Chevrolet introduces the Chevy Blazer for the first time. This is a full-size Blazer based upon a shortened frame from the CK pickup at the time. It was available with some inline sixes, and most of them came with V8s, which is what pretty much everybody was opting for. Came with solid axles, which made it quite the capable off-roader. And most noticeable thing with this Blazer was the fact that it had the fiberglass removable top. A couple trim pack levels you can get it one. It was a K5 Blazer and the K10 Blazer. So see, that Blazer ran right around 2004 when it was replaced or renamed the Tahoe. But before it left, it was called the Blazer Sport. They give it a special naming before it phased over to be a Tahoe because of the fact that there was another Blazer on the market at the time. See, in 1983, they introduced the S10 Blazer, a baby Blazer, I guess you'll say. This Blazer was based upon the S10 pickup and used the engines and drivetrain and everything from that S10 pickup. Most notably, it came with two-door, but there were also four-door versions down the road. And those were the ones that sold the most once the four doors were actually out there. This particular Blazer ran 2005 before it was discontinued. Before it was discontinued in 2005, it gave birth to another version of the Blazer. It was the Trailblazer in 2002. Before 2002, the Trailblazer was a trim package that you can get on some of the S10 Blazers at times. But Chevrolet took the name and ran with it, designed a little bit larger of an SUV, and put it out there as the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer lasted until 2009 before it was discontinued in the U.S. And the most notable thing with the Trailblazer, everybody's going to remember the SS Trailblazer, which is a pretty badass SUV with that honking V8 in there. But the Trailblazer does live on. In the Brazilian market, it's still out there. It's still being produced and still up for sale at brand new model years. It's based upon the Colorado platform now. So that gets you up to speed. What's the number one thing that ties all three of those Blazers together, which is going to come very important into the next Blazer that's coming in 2019. All of them were quite the capable off-roaders when needed. And another thing is they all had a body-on-frame construction because they were based upon pickup trucks that were available at the time. There's your history lesson. Now let's get going on 2019 that Chevrolet has announced that is coming towards the end of this year. It should be hitting dealer showrooms here soon. Alright, so got my trusty cheat sheet out here. Stuff written down so I don't get any information wrong, as always. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, it's lost its soul. In my eyes, it's no longer a real Blazer. They're banking on the name Blazer to bring you into the dealers' showrooms to help try to sell this thing. Pretty much the same way Mitsubishi did with the Eclipse. That's not an Eclipse anymore. It's a freaking CUV, also known as a crossover. They're just banking on the name. So let's get right into that, shall we? This particular Blazer is now sharing its platform with the GMC Acadia and the Cadillac XT5. They're all nice vehicles. Yes, I get it. But it's not what a Blazer should be. It's no longer an SUV. An SUV, in my eyes, has a ladder frame based on possibly a pickup truck or its own frame design, but it doesn't have a unibody construction. You kind of need that frame to keep the rigidity and everything if you're going to be taking them off-road. So this new Blazer, it's a highway cruiser for the most part, but it's not going to be really anything you're going to want to take off-road that often. It should have a little bit of capability of going off-road, but for the most part, it's designed for the soccer mom. Two engine choices are available with this new Blazer. The The base engine is going to be a 2.5 liter four-cylinder with 193 horsepower and 188 pound-feet of torque. If that doesn't suit you, which I hope it doesn't, you can opt for a V6, and particularly the tried and true 3.6 liter that they have out there. They have this particular engine in quite a few different vehicles, so it's been tried and tested and everything, and it's a good engine. Comes with 305 horsepower, 269 pound-feet of torque. Both of these engines are direct injected, which is going to help with fuel mileage and whatnot. So it's also why I boost their horsepower a little bit as well too. So pretty decent engine so far, but this is where it starts to go downhill, other than the fact that it's on a unibody chassis. Both of these engines route their power to the front wheels. It is a front-wheel drive, unless you opt for an all-wheel drive system, and then it's going to route to all four wheels, which is the one you're going to want to choose if you have any inclination of taking it off-road at all. And I'm not talking about just going down a dirt road to hit the lake. I'm talking about going off-road at all. Let's see, the looks of the Blazer. I actually kind of like it. I think GM did a great job of designing this new Blazer, and when you compare it with the Trailblazer that's in Brazil, it looks like it kind of took some of the characteristics of that, and they pulled those over into this new Blazer for the U.S. market, although it's not a Trailblazer. The RS version, it's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? The RS version, I'm not sure if I like it, not sure that I hate it. I think I'm kind of in the middle of the road on this one. And it's mainly how the front end looks. It looks like they tried to take the ZL1 Camaro and graft the looks of that onto it. It's pretty aggressive looking, and like I said, I'm up in the air on it, but I see where they're going with it, and I see what they were trying to do, and it'd be interesting to see how it's received by the rest of the market. But there is good news. There's 6 USB ports throughout this bad boy, so you can keep your device charged so you don't have to lose connection with the rest of the world, because we rely so heavily on our phones and tablets and everything else that you don't have to worry about keeping a charge on them, providing you have a charging cable. Another thing to note is it's probably going to have the Wi-Fi, which most Chevrolets have, so you're definitely going to be able to stay connected. And speaking of that Wi-Fi, which is run through your infotainment system, this new Blazer now has in the infotainment system the ability to open your glove box electronically. That's right. Just like the Tesla Model 3, you go in the infotainment system and you select the option for the glove box, boop, she opens up. You no longer have to reach over there and actually open it yourself anymore. Not anymore. So, wheels. Base ones, 18 inches. We all know 18s are small nowadays. I mean, my Challenger comes with 20s. I used to think that was huge, but there's bigger ones out there, and this Blazer is no different. This Blazer can be optioned up to 21 inch. So, yeah, it's an inch bigger than what I have, but still, an inch is an inch, right? So, see, now let's get into the whole realm of where this Blazer is going to fall within the Chevy lineup. Chevy has five SUVs already out there on the market. The smallest being the Trax. Then you have the Equinox, the Traverse, the Tahoe, and the largest is going to be the Suburban. So you're thinking, well, they have enough SUVs, where the hell is this thing going to slot? They found room. It's a small room, but they found room for it. It's going to fit between the Equinox and the Traverse. So it's a midsize, I guess you could say. Yeah, let's go midsize. Not sure if there's actually a market for that particular size. Well, there's obviously a market if they're making it, because, well, they wouldn't have made it if there wasn't. So it's just, I think, a slim market. So what do I think they should have done? I think they should have stuck to what the Blazer was and what everybody loves and knows about the Blazer. They should have built it off the Colorado platform, even for us here in the U.S. You didn't have to call it the Trailblazer like you do in the Brazilian market. I mean, these guys call these same cars different things throughout the world anyways as it is. They could have taken that version of the Trailblazer that they already have and done a redesign for the U.S., meet U.S. specs and everything else, and used based upon the Colorado, and you you could have had the Colorado's engine options, including a diesel, which would have been freaking fabulous if they had done that. But with the negativity around diesels and whatnot, I see why they didn't do it, but I think it would have been awesome if they did. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're following Offbeat Motors over on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, those are the two platforms, Twitter and Instagram. You can find us over on those platforms at Offbeat Motors. I'll catch you guys next time around.